Everybody, welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft Season 5, Episode 112 with me, Sid. And we're in here in our finely enchanted and beautiful red steel armour. Our hit points are low compared to what they were. But, you know, that we can do something about. What I can't do anything about right now is the lag that I've got, because I have just started. Oh god, hang on, let me hit the right key, find what happened there. Thank you. Let's try that again. Much better. Yeah, I don't know why, for some reason I get the absolute worstest lag in the whole wide world when I start this game up. Let's get some things down. So last episode we created ourselves a lovely new shiny suit of red steel armor. I need grain, that's my mission here. That one will do. And we enchanted it. Now I'd originally planned to go down the Ender IO enchanter route, which guarantees you're going to get what you want and uses materials to, get there. So, for example, sharpness is quartz, protection I think is obsidian off the top of my head, fortune is lapis, I think. I can't remember the exact things, and you need a certain amount of everything to do those. But we didn't go that route. We went a different way, and that was, if we let me just grab myself some breakfast. That was to upgrade our altar here into an enchanting plus altar, and as you can see, it's got lots of things, goes very high, allows me to, I need to get some probably 2 more bookcases in. That would be good if I could, but not desperate, but would be good, And that got us to where we are right now. I say I need to go and get some more. Oh, hello. That was a relatively easy one. Some more levels, and we need to do a bit of crafting, because I've got some plans for today. So between episodes I have done 959. Hello. That one. Off you go. And yeah, between episodes I've done a little bit of investigating, and I think I have a solution to our iron problem. Now we're going to need to use a hell of a lot of this iron to make steel. We're going to need to make a hell of a lot of steel, but we're going to make one of these for starters. So I need to do several things. I first off need to run out, and while we got the opportunity and these have grown, I need to get these harvested. I could potentially plant some more. I may do. It's not. There we go. I get half a stack from that anyway. And I also just need to keep visiting over here periodically, because I really do need to get my levels back up. Oops, hello. But yeah, I've looked into the immersive engineering excavator, and it actually works in TerraFirmaCraft. I read about it. I've done a bit of, I suppose, non-practical research, just checking whether it actually does exist as a thing in this. It does. And I have tested it in a creative world, and it works. The downside to it is twofold. One is it's going to use a lot of iron to make it in the first place, and the second one, let me just get a few levels. The second one is that it is going to require a lot of power to run it, Now it will run on low power, slowly, so that is an option. I just want to get my hit points back up to a reasonable level here. But before we start that, what we do need to do is check if we actually have any ores in the area. We need to check out how it works. So we are going to need 3 stitch things, 4 of them, and 2 light engineering blocks. Now those are relatively straightforward, but of course they are going to dip into our reserves of material, because, you know, stuff. So I need 8 iron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 2 copper, and that should give me all that we need to make those. And then I need 3 copper and 4 iron. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And combine that with that, and both of those will give me those. So we're starting to get there. Now we make 6 of those with the steel, and we also need to make a bunch of that, but we've got the means of making those, I think, if we can get the need steel sheet. Oh Jesus. However, let's just have a look at this. So the actual cost of a rod is in there. Yeah, it's basically 1 to 1, and if we do it on a metal press, it is 2 to 1, 1 to 2. So clearly it's better to do it on a metal press anyway. Let's go and just check, because I can't remember, did I set some pig iron going last episode? It's possible. I did, it's still going. Okay, well, that's going to take a hot minute. However, we can take you, and the uses for that are with a red steel hammerhead, we should be okay to, well, we probably need it all, don't we, right now? So let's just let's pop it all on. I may actually make another hopper, because yeah, the problem I think was the fact that I had not made a vanilla hopper, and I was trying to feed directly onto that one rather than this one. So yeah, that's kind of an issue. But we'll make some steel. I'm then going to need to make, I think we're going to have to invest in that press recipe, just because it will save us money in the long run. And steel plates obviously we can make with a plate press. Hang on a second, let's have a look. We can make let me just get this again. Right, we want to be there, and then that uses that, and that uses can I not make those? Damn it, how? There's got to be a plate. Plate. So a plate mold uses a double plate or single. Basically plates surrounded by plates, and that can be used to make 1 to 1 on don't want those. I just want normal plates. Can I not make normal bloody plates? No, I don't think it's not going to give me cheaper plates, is it? It gives me them for Constantine and Invar, but nothing else. Alright, so anyway, let me get the steel pulled together, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need is we need some double ingots, and I need 4 of them. So 1, 2. Blue hammer on there makes double steel ingot. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. Leaves 14 steel, which is fine. Those are going to go through the system again as before, and we are going to get our... oh, there's one more. Hang on. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Boop. And there we go. So I think we should be able to take 4 of those and no, not a stick. So what can I oh man, iron, so tool rod basically of, does it have to be metal? Certainly looks like it needs to be metal. Okay, that is not a problem. We'll go with a cheap tool rod because I don't want to waste anything that I don't have much of. Maybe copper will work. You are off. You can go in there, and we should have... No, I don't have a tool rod. Oh, that's surprising. Okay, gonna need that as well. Have I got a tool rod? No, a tool rod. Tool. There's a tool rod, and which we can pop in there. Take the aluminium brass, or brass as it is. Make ourselves a mould, and then we'll take the copper, and I think I get 2, don't I? Yes. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. We'll take those. Put that away. Put that away. Yeah, okay, that's a problem. Okay. Put you in there for now. Grab one of those, and that should give me a metal press mold. Excellent. Right, so to make you, not make you, to use you, we need steel scaffolding and steel fence. Steel fence is 6 of those at a time, and when we get, no, I'll get there eventually. Get 2 per, so I need to put 3 to make that. Okay. 3 steel ingots will make me a 1, 2, 3. Will make me 6 rods. 1, 2, and a 3. Oh. Shall we try that again? 1, 2, 3. And that would allow me to make fence, which is made in 2s. Oh god, why is everything so bloody expensive? Let me just go and check what I've got as well, because I know I have got some bits kicking around. I should probably have my supper. Okay, well, tide is over. So we have got 1 fence and 3 scaffold, which is a bit of a pain, but there you go. So the rest, so I need 3 fence, and that will give me that much, and 3 steel to make 6 scaffold, of which I need 4. Then I need to do 3 fence, don't I, which is another 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wow, that steel didn't go very far, did it? I genuinely can't believe how fast you go through materials, but, and again, this is merely an observation, but in any other pack, in any other version of Minecraft, this would not be an issue, because, you know, you go out, you find iron, you do a couple of hours mining, you come back with 10, 20, 30 stacks of iron, and then you whack it through the Tinker's Construct smeltery, and you know, that doubles it all up. You know, it's really not an issue. However, in this, it is. Now, we've got the drill sample. What we actually need is some way to power it. That's our next trick. So we don't really have any kind of portable power yet. Obviously, if we have a look at Ender IO, we should have, I can't remember what the hell they're called, dimensional transceivers. But that's gonna take a wee bit of stuff and things to make. And you only make one, so you'd need two, which is probably not the best idea. Now, we can make a basic capacitor bank, and those are quite cheap, and they retain the charge when we break them, so this might be the way to go. We charge one up and carry one of these with us. So I think we'll go with that, because we've already got a capacitor bank in here. Over here, I think it's even a basic capacitor bank, isn't it? It is. Now, I don't want to be pulling that one out, because obviously this is all configured, but what we can do is we can put another one in and just have and charge it quickly. In fact, I could even, if I were to go and do the sides, we could make that an output, and we could just plonk one there and drain the power straight out, and bang, Bob's your uncle. Obviously it's going to take a while to rebuild, but that's not a major issue, I don't think. So let's go with that as a plan. So block of redstone. Well, tell you what, let me quickly sleep and get the food sorted out and yada yada, and I shall be back in a second. Alright, so first things first, block of redstone. There you go. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more, because I need the transceivers, not the capacitor thingies, those capacitors. That's gold and copper. Now, hopefully, I know I've got some more gold and stuff to smelt, so it's not actually the end of the world, but hopefully we've got everything we need. We should have. So if I take that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get those. And I take 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll take those in that position, and then whack the wrought iron in there. That will give us a basic capacitor, which we can then plop down here, and that's not going to work, is it? I mean, that's half full. Yeah, we're going to need to put a connector in there, but it's half full. That's better than half empty. Let's input. There we go, and that's kind of half full. So let me get a wire in. We'll get that charged up, and hopefully I've got the relevant bits for that. I should have. Let me have a couple of, well, a LV wire and a connector. So we can get that charged, and then we can go out and we can do a bit of prospecting. But that's only half the story, of course, because the other problem is then we need to make an excavator. And an excavator, well, excavators ain't cheap. I think is probably a fair estimation of it. Okay, that's going in at 250 RF per tick, so this will charge, this will drain, it's losing, going down obviously, because it's running this as well as that. But once that's charged, I'll be back with you. Alright, and there we go, that's 1,000,000 RF. That should be enough to keep and last us to do the job at hand. I'm going to also just leave that and that here, because I'll need to be able to charge this again when we do it. Let's go give this a try. Well, before we go and give it a try, let's go and have a look at the engineer's manual. It should be in here. So the excavator will excavate minerals from veins accessible or inaccessible by normal mining. If you've not used this before, it's basically invisible ore that you can excavate out. Now this thing is expensive. It's going to be 12 blocks of steel, so that's like a lot. 9 light engineering blocks, 13 heavy engineering blocks, and 3 steel scaffolding, which is actually probably the cheapest bit. and that's for the machine. And then you need another 9 blocks of steel, another 20 steel scaffolding to make the wheel. We may not even be able to make this. However, once you've done that, it forms up into this rather amazing structure, and basically digs vast quantities of ore. However, the veins are used as a special machine, and you make one of these, you use it in the world, and it will basically list things. So a bauxite vein is a mineral vein that can be found in any dimension and is 100% rich bauxite. Okay. Cassiterite comes, things you get 65% of rich cassiterite, 20% cryolite, 10% sphalerite. An awesome coal vein has got a chance of anthracite, kaolinite, diamond, blah blah blah. Copper vein, chance of copper, gold, garnerite. Okay. Galena vein, blah blah blah. Gold vein, da da da. Iron vein, rich hematite, garnerite, cassiterite, all rich. Lapis gives you, has also got a good chance of hematite, so we want an iron vein, or a magnetite vein would be fine. A nickel vein would be okay, but you know, it's only a 5% chance of the iron. We prefer something with more. Platinum vein, wow, that'd be nice to find actually. Pyrite vein has got limonite and sulfur, so again another one. All of these are actually fine to find, but they're built into the game. Now these are not normally things. Uranium vein, wow. Yeah, this thing is going to be absolutely insane. However, it requires 4092 RF per tick. So let's jump into let's go up one, because I don't want to be building a massive great machine there if I can avoid it. Let's pop this down in this chunk here. Now in later versions, this would, once this was in place, you'd get highlighted chunk boundaries and all sorts of things. We'll pop that down, it runs and it's draining power. It goes down, 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 down. So we're going to have to come up with another way of marking the veins we find, if we find any. I suppose a waypoint would be the obvious one, because we can, you know, it doesn't require anything physically in the world, and we can hide it off the map if we want to. And once it's come back up, let's see, that is used 32,000 RF. And there was nothing in it. Okay, that's fine. Let's move up a chunk to, say, this one. Pop that down and rinse and repeat. Exciting, huh? Like I say, the big question then is how I actually generate the power for it. To generate 4096 RF per tick is definitely nuclear reactor level. You can't, in fact, you can't generate that level of power in immersive engineering, as far as I'm aware, natively with machines we've got. So nothing. Up to, well, let's do this chunk. Boop. I mean, I'm not expecting to find, you know, these ore veins are reasonably uncommon, so we're not necessarily going to just find it straight off the bat. And you're coming back up, and we've nearly used 100,000 RF now, which is fine. You know, we've got a million. But I'm going to just get a screenshot of this little gizmo, because that might be my screenshot for the episode. I certainly won't have an excavator. Cassiterite vein. Okay, hang on a second. I put that away. Okay, let's have a look. This is a cassiterite vein. White, save. I should have brought the book with me, shouldn't I? What did a Capacitor Bank give us? Let's just go and double check. Whee! Love it. I also need to eat, and it's getting on towards night time, so let me just go and grab you, go back to there. Capacitor Vein. Lead, lapis, iron, gold, galana, copper, coal. Cassiterite, not overly useful, but it's there. Right, I'm going to eat. Well, I'm going to continue surveying the immediate vicinity around us, and I shall be back in a bit. Alright, I've been going at this now for, this is my 4th Minecraft day. I've almost drained the capacitor. We're down to 72,000, which I think will be enough for 2 more samples. However, my food ran out, so I have had to go and address that. And I've had a few creeper spawns around the place, hence why I've got a bit of gunpowder on me. And unfortunately, I forgot about my bloody seeds out here, and yeah, they all spread into weeds. So that's one of the reasons why I keep a stock of the older seeds. However, right now, while I'm not in the area, or while I'm not here to monitor them, that is being taken out. Now I've got the chunk boundaries loaded, so I can see where I am, because I've done this one, I've done this one, that one, that one. I wanted to come over to this one. I've got, as I say, room for 2 more samples in this capacitor charge, I think. So we're going to do that one and this chunk, I think, and then well, we'll see what we get, and I'll show you what we've got, because we've got some interesting stuff. I just don't think we've got what we want. We might have. The last one I did, I didn't get around to checking the quantity on, but let's just deal with these 2 first. I think it uses 32,000, so that should stop at 40,000. If it was 72,000, it has. And everything. So what I'm doing is I'm marking each chunk with a waypoint, which I will then hide later, and I can always turn them back on when I want to continue, when I've recharged the capacitor, again assuming that I don't find out what I want. We found a lot of things that I don't want. We found quite a few things that would be very expensive to expend that amount of power to mine up, and certainly this deal and everything. It wouldn't be worth it for the low chances of the rare stuff. I mean, I've got a couple of coal veins, for example. Now, coal veins will give me emeralds and diamonds and other stuff. But for a machine that's going to cost more steel, lead vein, alright. Vein, lead. Right, so my plan was for this, certainly for this episode, was to drain the capacitor, which we've done. So we've got, if I go in here now, if I go into journey map, we've got a lead vein there, we've got coal, nothing, the cassiterite one is in there, and then nothing. We've got bauxite, we have coal, we have gold, we have pyrite, and obviously we now have lead. Now realistically what I want to do is turn off all of the ones that are, you know, none, and that will now give me, no, did that not? I definitely turned you off, so why are they still showing? Or, oh, hang on, have I got more? I probably have more. Yes, there you go. Off, 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 and off. So that basically brings us down to the ones we've got. Now, of course, these are absolutely no good to anybody without the machine to get them. And I needed to double check what we get. So for a bauxite, we get just bauxite. For a cassiterite, we've got, again, stuff I don't desperately need. Coal has got a good mixture of things that might be useful, but again, not worth the power investment. Lead would be, well, I'm going to say Galana is going to be lead, so that is not going to be a great deal. Gold has got a chance of garnerite, but nothing else. Iron is hematite. Lapis, lead. Oh, lead is, that's the same, isn't it? Galana. Magnetite, nickel, platinum. Oh, I thought pyrite was one of those things. So we have got right over here in, strangely, unfortunately, this chunk, which is not the best one for its, you know, terrain, we've got a pyrite vein, which is a huge amount of iron, massive amount of iron. Well, if it's anything like it was when I've used it in other mods, it'll be thousands of iron. So the question now is, do we go ahead? Let me just go and put this away for now, because I don't need it right this second. Do we now go ahead and start with the excavator? Because the excavator is going to be stupidly expensive. You know, as we said, we've seen, we're going to need 12 plus 9, so 21 blocks of steel, so 921s. Yeah, well, 1021s will be 210, so it's going to be 190, 189, isn't it? Possibly. 189 just for the blocks of steel. Then we've got the scaffolding. Now, scaffolding, fortunately, is relatively inexpensive. You get 6 per, although it's going to be 2, 4, 6 steel, 9 steel per 6. So you would need 6, 8, 12, 18, 24. You'd need 4 lots of that. So 9, 18, 27, 36 more steel there. And then, of course, you've got the steel scaffolding, I mean, so the heavy engineering blocks and the light engineering blocks. We may still not have enough iron to build this thing if we went with it. And then we've got to power it. Now, my thoughts were to actually just go, and we've got a couple of options. We could go with just running it slowly to start off with, while we get ourselves kind of built back up on the materials. And for that, we could just get in there and just use if I can find the damn thing. Why current? It's not current transformer. Power generation. Just go with a kinetic dynamo and hook that up to either 3 lots of water wheels, which are, again, it's going to be too slow, but it will give us a reasonable amount of power, or maybe 4 lots of improved windmills. Again, it's going to take us a hell of a lot of effort to build all of the materials, but it's not like we haven't built the infrastructure in place to actually start off with that. So again, they'd be slow, but while we're in this area working, they'd be constantly running because it's only over there, so it's going to be loaded. That's the thought. Anyway, whatever the case, we are going to definitely need, oh, that's 6,428, that's 254, 254, 254, 286, 300 and a bit. I don't think we're still going to have enough iron to do that, even if I ran that through all the way through as steel, which is going to take an age if we just use the thing over here. I don't think we've got anything that's going to help us up there. So yeah, it's that's a biggie. I mean, that's nice. We can do it. It's just going to take a hell of a lot of effort. And all of that's then to give us a hell of a lot of effort to build a arc furnace to make a nuclear furnace, which will give us more power, which will allow me to speed up the excavator, which will in turn give me a whole load more materials. Yeah, I need to think hard about this because it is a huge thing. Now, the other thing I've often thought about playing with is the good old travel anchor, because that could be useful to get around the world quickly. But yeah. Let me know what you think. I personally think, well, I'm definitely going to go with the excavator. I think we have to. It's the only way I can find of to get vast quantities of material that we need reasonably reliably. The other source of power, of course, we could have, and I'm going to do this eventually anyway, is there. We could start pumping oil and processing oil into fuel and running that into a diesel generator. But once again, we're back into the old issue of how do we build, because the diesel generator itself has got quite a heavy material cost. And of course that's over and above the excavator. It's an interesting little conundrum. It's there's the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg, is very much evidenced by in this kind of question, which came first, the high power generator or the high power consumer. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. We didn't achieve as much as I would have liked this episode, but we have actually, you know, got a potential solution. It is just going to take a lot of effort. And on that note, thanks for watching. Bye for now.